Hey guys, I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee on Market Square with Promotion Studios, and I am Ashton Browne, and I'm gonna play my brand new song, the Sunsphere Song. Beautiful, bright, bolts of brilliant beams. Look there, y'all, it's popping at the seams. It's the Sunsphere Song. It's the Sunsphere Song. About this time when the stars are out, the sun won't go down. It is sparkling, spectacular, so special and so splendid. Son, you won't believe it even when you get in it. Look, Ma, I could see my house from here. Can I get the gold balls from the volunteers? From all the beautiful, bright bolts of brilliant beams. Look there, y'all, it's popping at the seams. It's a Sunsphere Song. It's the Sunsphere Song. We're hand in hand underneath that golden dawn. It's the Sunsphere Song. It's the Sunsphere Song. You can sing along if you're proud to say that Knoxville is your home. Ronald Reagan smiled at this city. He ruffled his dapper head. Right then he welcomed 50 nations to the World's Fair. He said energy turns this great big world, and that's what this city's got. It never ever rains in Knoxville, it only suns, and sun drops are hot. It's fair and glistening, it looks so fine. Man, that thing gets the one of God. It's the gold Sunsphere. It's mine, all mine. If you're thinking about a visit, well, here's your sign. To see those beautiful, bright bolts of brilliant beams. Look there, y'all, it's popping at the seams. It's a Sunsphere Song. Sing along, Sunsphere Song. Hand in hand underneath that golden dawn. It's a Sunsphere Song. It ain't wrong. It's a Sunsphere Song. I'm proud to say that Knoxville is my home. Oh, well, I'm proud to say that Knoxville is my home. Hey, proud to say that Knoxville is my home. We was trying on clothes and she kissed me on the nose. They got our tags tangled. We tried on shoes and she lost the blues. Got our tags tangled. We tried on socks and our lip got locked. Got the tags tangled. And then we tried on shirts. She started to pull it. We got our tags tangled. We tried on gown and she lost her crown. We got our tags tangled. We tried on bracelets and we just had to face it. Got our tags tangled. Then we tried on a necklace and we kinda got reckless. Got our tags tangled. And then we tried on a ring. She began to see. Got a tag tangled. Oh, brother, let me tell you. Tried on socks and our lip got locked. We got the tags tangled. We tried on hats and how about that? We got the tags tangled. Well, we tried on clothes and she kissed me on the nose. tag tangle. We tried on rings and she started to sing. We got a tag tangle. Brandon. Hello, I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee on Market Square at Promotion Studios, and my name is Ashton Browne, and I'm going to play an original song for you titled Rock and Roll Bonnie. Here we go. Rock and roll Bonnie has all of the honey. She's walking the streets to get all the boys are running on. Rock and roll Bonnie is just like her mommy. She don't know how to hold on to her honey. Mama don't know her and her sister barely does. Daddy ain't never come home without a bus. She would run away but she don't have the cash. Here come the boys coming up real fast. Oh, rock and roll Bonnie has all of the honey. Walking the streets to get all the boys are running. Oh, cop and blow Connie is just like her mommy. She don't know how to hold on to her money. Boss man, his son would you despise. He put her on a corner and only tells her lies. All of the men are come to see her in the late night hour. But when she looks at me, she didn't love me as a flower. Rock and roll Bonnie has all of the honey. Walking the streets to get all the boys are running. Oh, cop and blow Connie is just like her mommy. She don't know how to hold on to her money. Someday she wants a couple of her kids of her own, but ain't caught her on the jukebox and play her favorite song. Every day she's closer to the day she'll believe it can be anything she wants to be. Oh, 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 rock and roll Bonnie has all of the honey. She's walking the street to get all the boys are running. Oh, cop and roll Connie is just like her mommy. She don't know how to hold on to her money.
Ashton, how's it going, man?
I'm doing well today, man. I'm just having a great time here in Knoxville.
Well, really glad to have you, and just get a little bit of background. How long have you been playing around here locally? Because I've saw you once at Prez Pub before we met, and I was just like, wow, this guy's got a real unique look. And I didn't know you were from around here.
I've been playing in Knoxville since 2011. That was my first year in town, and I guess 10 years later, after being based here for a long time, it's allowed me to go a lot of the places in the United States and recently out of the country. And yeah, man, the music thing it's been going for 10 years now. I've been here for that long.
And you went to the UT Jazz School?
I did.
And
Yes.
what's the jazz program like there? Because you see a lot of really talented performers in Knoxville come from that program.
I think it's probably one of the better ones in the country in that no one really knows about it as much as Juilliard or North
Berkeley
Texas
or anything.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. It's not as well known as a school like that, but the quality of professor there, it's off the chart. There's the players get to play in the Lincoln Center Jazz Orchestra. They've recorded with some of the greatest jazz names in the history of the music, and it's really special to get to go through there and learn from those guys. It's a really special program.
And they seem to hold y'all to task. I mean, they're not. They get a lot of students in the program, but the amount of students that finish the program to who starts, they whittle y'all down. They put you through the ringer. What are some of the exercises and programs that you see people like? They get into a class, whether it's theory or composition, and they're like, "Nah, I'm not cut out for this."
That definitely happened. I thought when you went to music school or something like that, that you're going to if you get a degree, then you'll get a job in music or something somehow. But it becomes more what do you really want to do?
Right.
The further you go on, people just decide that they don't want to do it. A lot of times, it's not like I'm not good enough. Sometimes they're not.
Hey man, it's
You
easy.
know what I mean?
It's
There's
easy
some-
to see those talented people and get.
Sometimes you really are I heard James Carter, a saxophonist who had a master class at UT, said he felt like he was called in a way to play, like it chose him. I feel like that. I feel like music is something I have to do in a way. I want to do it, but I have to do it.
You hear that in preachers and musicians. I was called to it.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that's got to be in you. So, and we were talking a little bit before the session. Always kind of been musical. Your mother was a big influence on you and getting you instruments and into it at an early age. What's that meant to you growing up?
Well, it was so funny. When I was younger, I've always loved music, but I never was serious about playing music. But I played banjo a little bit when Oh Brother or Art Thou came out. You know, that was a big bluegrass thing, so I was into that sound, but I was never serious. But my mom continued to buy me instruments, and later on in life, I did get serious about music when I got to here in Knoxville. That's when I got serious about it, more serious, and boy, after that, I was just head over heels. Like I've never changed since I got here. I never changed my major. I was music from then on. But you know, it's really funny that she saw that in me way early on, and I didn't see that.
She read that aura.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's wild, isn't it? It's meant to be.
And you know, coming from the classically trained, you know, so to speak, musicianship. What's it like coming out of a program like that and then writing your own music? Is it kind of like breaking bad habits or like encouraging some of those habits they built in you? What's that kind of process like?
It's definitely when you go to school and you kind of use your left brain and you're learning like, well, the reason I think you get into music is because you really love music, you know, usually. And then you start learning about the left brain of it, like the notes and the clefs and time signatures, key, all of this stuff.
The theory and the composition and all that.
You start like putting it down on how you can, you know, more easily make a living. It's a way you can do. You can read, but then you kind of have to go back over here to that right brain a little bit and realize that music comes from a source. It's already here. Mm-hmm. Like you tap into the music. Or you know, it can come through you too, but I think what music school did for me was allow me to look at that other side that I already had been inspired about. It allowed me to analyze this spiritual thing really in another way. So it definitely helped. I mean, I know I can easily work with bands and tell them technically what I want from them, what they need to do, so we can just do what we need to do, and then but also feel the music.
Right.
So music school helped me that way.
Well, you see that particularly in jazz a lot, you know, improvisation and kind of breaking the rules of music and theory is a strong tradition in jazz. Has that kind of informed a lot of your writing going forward and like the way you play with people?
It has. I think part of my songwriting was more of a realization that I didn't need to work on my songwriting. It was almost like a dormant thing that I was like, oh, I love writing songs. The jazz thing was a little bit more like, I want to make sure that I can make a living doing this. Like, I need to know it. Gotta know, like, if somebody puts a piece of music in front of me, you know, I need to be able to read the fly that lands on the page, right? Mm-hmm. But then you go back, and then I just kind of felt like I wanted to write songs and breaking the tradition, like you're talking about, like breaking those rules. Partly, I think my attitude is a little bit rule breaking. I like to do that. I like to bring people to the moment with my attitude. I like to break the rule of like stagnant musician, watching people play music that are like, you're like, well, but that's the real rule I break. I don't break too many chordal rules. I'm pretty simple that way.
We were talking about that flow of energy earlier for sure. And your songs have a really distinct energy. They're very positive and upbeat. What can you tell me about some of your songwriting influences? Personally, I hear quite a bit of Van Morrison in some of your stuff.
Wow. I mean, that's the first time I've ever heard that. Not that, but that's an interesting take because I think his sound, I like his, like, he's got something in his top of his head that I can see, like, I try to convey that to, like, he has this thing. I think for songwriters, I really like John Prine, James Taylor, Bob Dylan, of course, and I mean, I think I really like Carole King a lot. There's a lot of influences there, but those are the people I listen to a lot.
Right on. And so, working on like 2022, have you got new music on the way?
Absolutely. I wrote a song 2 days ago. Really, that's the spirit. Like the song thing for me, almost is like the most natural thing I could do.
Right.
It was almost there like I was telling you a little bit earlier, I would write poems to people for their birthday, and it would just be like so natural, and I could make it make sense,
Right.
about a person and their situation, and just it was so natural for me forever, and I didn't utilize the skill. But then I eventually came back to it after, like the jazz program or a certain period of time of away from going a certain direction in music and coming back to what I was natural at. I mean, it's been easy for me to just let the songs flow.
And you've got one album out?
One album, and I have a couple of singles, but yeah, the music keeps continuing to come out, and just because it's just the thing that seems natural.
We were talking about that earlier a little bit as well, is how some people are like mediums for music, and you've just got to be kind of you're like a spiritual tuning fork, and those songs, those ideas, those vibes kind of flow, and you've got to be in tune. You got to be ready to catch that vibration when it comes. And we were talking about keeping yourself open and kind of mentally tuned in, ready to pick up on that. Is that something you're conscious of, or is that just how you kind of present yourself, especially when you're trying to play something?
I think you do have to. Sometimes you just need to not judge what comes to you. I know that there's let's say we have, I don't know, maybe let's say 100,000 thoughts a day or 60, something like that. They say it's like some of those may sound off the wall. Some of the things that come to your mind or something, you get an idea. I think we all have a gift. Maybe it's that I've listened to that voice a little bit more than some people that will say something funny to me, or whatever. Like I'll just come up with funny things. I like to rhyme words back to back to back. In between Nash and Ash. It thrills me a little bit. Like I just think that the songwriting is something that just you have to be open to it. Like you're saying, just be able to take those thoughts and those funny ideas that you think are garbage, or you don't like, or you think are funny, or make sense or ring a bell in your mind. I write those down, and then eventually I can just feel a song out because it's fun. It's natural to me. But yet I feel sometimes like it's easier for me than I know a lot of people. Like I like I said, you were talking about earlier, I didn't start out as a front person. I was sort of wanting to be a professional bassist, particularly. And some people don't get that urge to go
Step
beyond
into the
that. And that's
spotlight,
okay.
yeah.
Everybody can do their own thing. Everybody can choose and pick. But I had that drive to want to continue in that path or change and explore.
It seems
that.
very natural for you. I mean, your personality, your dynamic is very. I feel like you could have been just the guy on the bass, but you seem to fit very naturally in the front. I mean, that personality, that energy, and even the way that you present your songs kind of demands a personal touch.
Yeah.
So, working on new music in 2022. Have you got a new album on the way?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of songs. I'm still sort of trying to see when is the new game. The first record was pretty much about like get it out, like no matter what, just get it out so you can have an album and you can give somebody some music if they want your music. You say, here's a CD, here's a tape, here's my Spotify link, here's my Apple Music link, here's my Patreon. Now I have that. Now I'm like, okay, I have a record. Now I can make it the way I want it to be, easier because I have a little bit more experience now, so
Absolutely.
I can time it better, or
And I wanted to make sure that we get the story on record behind the album cover.
Oh yeah.
Because it's a great photo. It's a great picture.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure everybody, if you check out his album Between Nash and Ash,
Yes.
the cover photo, just give people a little bit of a background on that.
Well, my name's Ashton, and I lived in Nashville for 2 years, and then I kind of moved back, and I was with my dad for a while, and I thought that the big sign over there right on Summit Hill, I was like, Nash and Ash. My name's Ashton. In between Nash and Ash. So I said, I'm in between cities, signs, and states of mind. So I'm in between the cities of Nashville and Asheville, which is Knoxville. I'm in the city. In between the signs, if you see on the record cover, I'm literally up on that interstate sign. That is me. It's just this low quality photo, And if someone wants to sue me for that,
Hey,
it was photoshopped.
Exactly. They can't prove that's you in that photo.
And in the state of mind, I'm in between Nash and Ash. Who I am.
That's a real. I like that turn of phrase. Though is in between two signs, in between state of mind, two states of mind. That's a really great saying as well. And I really want to thank you for joining us today, man. Where can people get in touch with you, find music, all of that stuff?
Everything is Ashton Browne, ASHTON
Don't forget that E. Very important.
And I'm on Spotify, YouTube. I have my own website, Ashton Browne. Everything is Ashton Browne. That's where you can find me. Music links, all streaming platforms. Check me out there.
He performs quite frequently all over this area. Don't miss a chance to catch him live. It's a stellar show, and he brings. Whether he's solo, you're going to get a hell of a performance. If he's got a band behind him, you're going to get one hell of a performance because he's got some of Knoxville's A-listers backing him up. So, man, really looking forward to working with you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. That way you don't miss another promotion live session. Great, man.
Thank you, man. That's great.
Good stuff.